There's still a long road ahead.
When I'm teaching you to glide, I feel like I can go even faster than usual. Huh? What are you laughing at? I'll prove it! We can race right now! At this speed, no one can keep up with me. I can handle anything and everything, as long as it isn't cold wolf hook juice. Ugh, yuck. I joined the Knights because of my grandpa. I stayed because of Jean. And now, you're the one that showed me the world beyond Mondstadt. I couldn't be happier. I would like to explore the other worlds beyond. I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. You'll keep me company, right?
I'm guessing that I'm the only person in Teyvat who uses the fire from their vision and rock performances. Some say I should respect that power more. But the way I see it, the gods gave the vision to me, so they like my style, don't you think? I made this guitar myself, you know. Based it off a rock and roll instrument from Fontaine at first, but it stopped looking like the original real fast. I wanted to give it a rad name like the Fire Lyre, or the Jade Breaker, or the Hill Stiller. Oh, still feels like we're missing something. Any ideas? Say, do you notice anything different about me today? I did some facial massages to relax my mouth and eyes and practice smiling less broadly in front of a mirror for half an hour. So, how'd it go? Do I look a bit less fierce than usual? Even scarier. Okay. I have dinner at the One Mean restaurant often. If Xiangling's got some time on her hands, we'll chat till it's real late. Huh? You want to know what to order? See, I actually eat everything she makes. It's never the same thing and the flavor's different each time, too. Oh, she's the rock star of the culinary world, she is. Dr. Baju's prescriptions are the tops at preserving my voice. I did an impromptu performance for him as thanks, but the snake he keeps around his neck fainted away. Now it ducks up Dr. Baju's sleeve every time I'm around. I only discovered afterwards that snakes are very sensitive to vibrations. He's one interesting guy. He looks introverted enough, but there was this one time when he came to one of my performances. A friend brought him or something, and he had some words for me, but I couldn't hear him over the music. Well, before I knew it, he was right up there on the stage with me, singing and rocking his heart out. Guess you really can't judge a book by its cover. Tell you a secret, but you gotta keep it that way, you hear? She's real fond of rock and roll. Comes to watch me at least 3 times a week, no matter how packed her schedule is. You'd think that the head of the Huyu Tea House's troupe would be into finer arts and all, huh? but I guess it gets suffocating after a while. I have no clue what she's thinking going around looking all happy-clappy like that when she's the head of the Wangsheng funeral parlor. Always greets me cheerily, too, saying, "I like people who play with fire. They're good for business," or something like that. She's a bit bizarre, I tell you. Her? She speaks her mind and has a big heart, and we get on great. The Crux's adventures are real epic. They've given me tons of inspiration in the past. I even wrote them a song. Nowadays, I just need to sing the first line and most all the sailors will join in. It's fast becoming a new sea shanty, it is. Oh, you know, the Millilith used to get in my way all the time. Can't set up a stage here, can't perform there. Oh, real bother it was. But after I wrote to the Ministry of Civil Affairs, I heard that the Tianquan amended one of Liu's, some rule or something? She designated some spots for performances to take place so long as you apply. It's still a load of trouble if you ask me. But it's better than being harangued by those Milliliths every time, so... There was this one fella who invited me to perform at his place back when there weren't many who would give my music the time of day. I was touched, let me tell you what. Like, hey, someone gets it. I agreed right away. But when I got there, I found out that he was the consultant at the Wangsheng funeral parlor. Oh, what a weird guy. I mean, how was that appropriate?
Visions? Ah, they're a necessary device in controlling the elements, with you being the sole exception, of course. As for why that is, perhaps we can find the time to experiment a little. When I taught Razor how to utilize elemental energy, I never expected him to master the technique so quickly. Come to think of it, you're talented too. Maybe I could teach you a few tricks. Last time little Clee wanted to use my workshop for her experiments, I had to say no, and she was angry at me for the rest of the day. What happened the next day, you ask? She went off happily to play outside, of course. Come on, Razor. That's it. Good boy. Let's do some combat practice. I found you the perfect partner. Hey, come back! Fischl. Yes, she's always in the library looking to borrow fantasy novels. She always returns her books 3 days early and looks after them very well. She's a good kid. Every time I ask Noelle to dust off the bookshelves, I'm always left with the sense that the more exhausted I make her, the happier she becomes. Yes, who knows what's going on with her? Try not to bother Sucrose if you're at a loose end. You'll only startle the poor girl. She's gifted at interacting with all sorts of exotic creatures, just hopeless when it comes to humans. Amber was just a young girl when she joined the Knights, and in the blink of an eye, She's turned into such a strong young lady. I'm curious to see what she'll be like a few years from now. Have you heard Barbara sing before? Her angelic voice contains a magical healing energy. A different kind of magical energy from the one in my potions, of course. I wonder which one you prefer. Asked Mona. She seems to be an excellent mage, but I'm not a part of their Hexen Circle. The idea of Erminsel exploration and formal tea parties just leaves me cold. Albedo is quite the alchemist. Just say the word and he'll come up with a good solution. He's easy on the eyes, too. Just like you. You want to know about D-Luke? In that case, I know someone else you should talk to. Jean is a gifted and dedicated leader. Seeing how hard she works makes even me want to help her out.
To those that don't have a vision, it must seem that those with visions are like flagships from the Archons to follow. As such, I make sure to fly my flag with pride. That is my motivation. You want to know why I help the common folk? Why not? Everyone has their low points in life. I don't really do anything other than help steer those who are truly lost towards a brighter future. Yao Yao always comes on board to play when we're in the harbor. Trouble is, when it's time for her to go, she gives you the puppy eyes, and no one has the heart to send her away. Means we're always cutting it quite close by the time we manage to set sail. She's got a great personality, that one. The guys in the crew love that rock and roll of hers. Me? Oh, we have common ground. Just not when it comes to taste in music. Privately, Ganyu and I get on like a house on fire. But as you know, she's the secretary to the Liu Qixing, and I'm not exactly in their good books right now. Doesn't bother me, but I wouldn't want to put Ganyu in a difficult position. So just keep what I said between us, yeah? One year, on the eve of the Lantern Rite, we ran into a storm as we were returning to port. Try as we did, we only made it back to Liyue Harbor in the dead of night, long after the lanterns had all been released. As I looked towards Guyun Stone Forest, I saw an Adeptus floating in the air, in the form of what appeared to be a young boy. I guess it is like the legends say. There really must be those that watch over Liyue, even if they cannot be seen. When we're out on the open ocean, the one thing we do all miss is Xiangling's cooking. When spirits are low, just thinking of her fried Jueyun chili bursting with flavor, it gives everyone just that little extra kick. Xiangling, huh? Well, she sometimes uses some interesting ingredients in her dishes to bring about some intriguing flavors. Though, there's no way she can improve without having someone to taste test, a role that I am more than happy to fill. Ningguang, eh? As far as Liu Qixing is concerned, she seems to be doing a good job. But for me, my responsibility lies with my ship and my men, and not with Liu Qixing. Ningguang is never really one to speak frankly, but she has been very direct with her criticism of me in the past. But hey, whether she likes me or hates me is her choice. Nothing I can do to sway her. You mean the gentleman from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor? My men sometimes speak of the rumors surrounding him. He sounds interesting. Yes, if I get the chance, I'd like to meet him someday.
There are a total of 10 captains within the Knights of Favonius. But truth be told, not all of them have what it takes to be leaders.
Once I came to understand more about bioalchemy, I stopped eating mushrooms. You're no doubt aware? Mushrooms grow on that which has died, which in turn makes me think of other such things, and my appetite just disappears. Ugh. This trip has allowed me to gather a good number of materials. Thank you. I'll be sure to put them to good use. The essence of research is the process of finding the answer. Sometimes, working through that process can be tedious. But every time I see the cumulative result of my efforts, I know that I'm doing what I love.
There's no need to use a vision in affairs that Mora can solve. As far as affairs only a vision can solve go, I know of only one. I've always believed that children are the most naive and innocent. The reports they give me are of the most value. So what about you? What will you have for me? cashing in time and Mora for power. Interesting. This shows their true value. I've come across those who demand golden crab for every meal. Though it all seems so grandiose, I really have no desire for such frivolousness. If you're ever thinking of taking me out for such a dinner, you'd be better off just giving the Mora to me directly. I've been thinking about something lately. If I were to keep you in Liyue, perhaps, at the right time, I might be able to leverage this city to... For now, it's mere conjecture. I should really consider whether the investment is worth it some more. The second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. People like him can't stand the sight of me, which is only to be expected. I have no intention of troubling him either. Those who have different beliefs should not work together. That girl from One Min Restaurant. Her suspicion towards me is always written all over her face. I wonder what face she would make if only she knew how much I helped finance that restaurant. I presume you mean the girl whom Ganyu has taken under her wing. Do not worry. I have no plans to make this matter public. I am content to extend some leniency to the odd bit of mischievous maneuvering by that boat captain. One thing, though. Yo-Yo seems to have become somewhat enamored with seafood lately. You should try to convince her to include some more fruits and vegetables in her diet. That captain. She clearly receives the adoration of many, but will always be the first to disregard the rules. The fine she has paid would be enough to buy her a whole new ship. Perhaps you've never heard me speak like this. All that can be said has been said, both the good and the bad. But she still does as she pleases. Forget it. Keep Beidou out of my sight. One cannot afford to be overly reliant on others, even when it comes to Ganyu. There is a Liyue saying which goes, even the most meticulous can fall prey to happenstance. When there are important affairs to deal with, it is always safer to investigate and resolve them personally. The acting Grand Master of Mondstadt, a strict and impeccable woman. Her flawless etiquette knows no fault. Even her letters are meticulously written and creased according to the prescribed rules. It is such easily overlooked details that offer a glimpse into the true qualities of one's character. Zhang Li of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. He's very versed in a great deal of affairs. Although, such excellent pawns are of no use to me until I know their weaknesses.
That said, a vision doesn't hurt to have as a little accessory. It is, after all, the one useful study tool that miserly old lady ever gave me in a rare act of generosity. Mona Magistus, the astrologist. We came up with that name together, the old lady and me. She said it had a nice ring to it, but then she started calling me Meg for short, which is obviously unnecessary because clearly Mona is already suffice for a shorter name. No, you are not allowed to call me that. It's embarrassing. I knew I shouldn't have told you.
Could we maybe find a peaceful resolution instead? Never mind, doesn't matter. Cheelans are strict vegetarians, so please do not take offense when I decline meat dishes. Yes, that includes your vegetable fritters, since they have been fried in animal fat. Thanks, but I can't. I'm afraid I really can't. I don't mean to argue, it's just I have a keen sense of smell, so I know how they've been cooked. Ah, Yenfei. Even back when she was an innocent little girl, she would tell me that you have to keep your promises to live a happy life. Now she's grown up to be a beautiful, graceful, and highly successful young woman. Although the work of a legal advisor is complicated, she always seems so carefree. This puts my mind at ease. Even though I'm part Cheelan, I'm still part human, too. Still, all these years I've been asking myself the same question. Do I really belong in the human world? Maybe I'm just like a dendro slime hiding in the earth, burying myself in numbers and reports in order to escape reality. Thank you for always making time to chat with me. I feel like I must have spoken more after meeting you than I have in the last 10 years put together. If I keep going like this, maybe one day I'll be able to move on to something other than secretarial work. Now that I've got a few hundred years of experience under my belt, I should be able to avoid any more major mistakes. I want to understand more about humans, and I especially wish to hear what you think of them. Why, you ask? Because you're a bit different from most people in Teyvat, just as I am. Please, tell me what you think. So yeah, I was wondering what your opinion is on my work so far. Would you say I'm more of a common chest or more of a luxurious chest? It's fine. I can take it.
Working with Sucrose on alchemy research is quite pleasant, but she has some stubborn qualities in regards to certain aspects unrelated to research. For example, I have told her numerous times to just call me Albedo, since we are about the same age, but she insists on addressing me in an excessively formal manner. Whatever she prefers, I guess. What do I do besides sketching and research? I will occasionally read novels from Inazuma and Liyue. They contain many fascinating ideas which can sometimes provide me with unexpected inspirations for my own creations.
Never mince your words with me, okay? Yu Hung's just a title. I'll not have you treading on eggshells around me just because of my status. Say what's on your mind, always. That's what makes you unique, and it's the thing I admire about you the most. Yesterday's experiences make me stronger today. And most of those experiences are ones that I share with you. We've been on our fair share of adventures together, haven't we? The more time we spend together, the more I think that you're the person of my dreams and... Huh? Why so shocked? You're a crucial part of my dreams for the new Liyue.
Everyone has faith in Dr. Baiju's medical skills. He's the right guy to go to when you can't figure out what's wrong with you. Oh, the rumors, you say? The only one that I know for a fact is true is how disgusting his medicine tastes. It's not just the kids who find it bitter. It's left me with some horrible memories, too. When you're passing by Huyu Tea House and have to squeeze your way through the biggest crowd you've seen in your life, that's when you know Yunjin's on stage performing. There's not a merchant in Liyue who wouldn't buy up the place if they had the chance, and Yunjin's the reason it would be worth every mora. You know what? I think her music rocks. Too noisy by traditional standards for sure, but I don't care. Good music is good music, and good music should reach the widest possible audience. Yeah, the up-and-coming chef from Wanmin Restaurant. I get that she's gifted and everything. I just think her cooking can be a bit hit or miss. I was all ready to hire her for a small banquet once and give her full control over the menu. But the amount of lizard and slime in her sample dishes quickly turned me off that idea. I've heard his story. He was born into a well-to-do family, but wasn't keen on the family business. So he now devotes his time to being an envoy of justice. I have huge respect for that. Not everyone has the guts to follow their dreams when it means breaking with the long-standing family tradition. That captain is always flouting the rules, and her personality really rubs people the wrong way. That said, the Crux fleet is indispensable to Liyue Harbor. It's a bit of an art, knowing when to enforce the rules and when it's in everyone's interest to be more lenient. Thing is, the Tianquan is supposed to be the one enforcing the rules, but she always seems to be too busy. We do work together, but we couldn't be more opposite personality-wise. To her, Liyue Harbor is nothing more than a marketplace, and she'll do anything as long as it makes money for her. Doesn't she have any principles? Or maybe turning a profit is her principle. Who knows what Rex Lapis must have done to inspire such blind devotion from Ganyu. But her reluctance to be critical is not without its advantages. In the workplace, she'll carry out my instructions to the letter, even when I can tell she has her reservations. It's a good attitude to have as a career professional. The gentleman from the Wangsheng funeral parlor? Clearly he's an extremely learned individual, and I do have a lot of respect for him. But his mindset is too traditional for me. He thinks in the same tired old terms as Rex Lapis did. If he were more of an original thinker, I'm sure he'd be a great asset to me in reaching my objectives.
These antlers? Oh, well, my father is an Adeptus, so I have Adeptus blood myself. Still, I was born during peacetime here in Liyue. I never signed a contract with Rex Lapis. Naturally, I don't have to concern myself with Adeptal affairs. I'm free to focus on the life I want to live. Works for me. Do not seek to emulate the past, for there is no law that can suffice for all time. This is a lesson I must always bear in mind. Only by adhering to the law can the people solve life's myriad of problems. Contracts of that magnitude, lifelong commitments, I've only ever signed one with my father. It's about living happily, I suppose. That's the kind of person he is. I'm proud of him for that. If he'd wanted me to sign a different contract, say, one about working myself into the ground, or stepping on others to achieve success, I would have ran away by now. Civil cases are the ones I dread the most. Divorces, custody disputes. It's a thankless task trying to unpack these kinds of cases with logic and reason. You have to be kind, courteous, and patient with your clients, even though half the time they are completely incapable of participating in a constructive discussion. I know I advertise myself as being fully versed in every area of the law, but honestly, if it were up to me, I'd rather everyone could just get along so we wouldn't have so many of these cases. Visions appear in response to strong desire. So as someone with ideals, it's only natural that I should have received one. Because above all, I wish for all people to live honest lives and abide by the law. But some people will always insist on playing by their own rules and causing havoc for everyone else. Those people can expect to be prosecuted so hard, they won't know what hit them. This steelyard balance was a gift from my father. It weighs objects to determine their value. I usually use Mora for the weight, but it can only give the original price. For example, 1,000 years ago, Liyue was covered in glaze lilies, and they weren't worth anything in monetary terms. Then, when they suddenly declined a number, the price shot up in response. But the value shown by the steelyard wasn't updated. It still shows them as their original value. In other words, dirt cheap. So, most of the time, this isn't a very useful tool for work purposes. Huh? You want to try weighing something? How about we could weigh your little friend here? Will that do? I have a self-defense method that I call Wrath of the Flame, based on a punishment called the Wrath of the Rock, which is detailed in the ancient work, The Comprehensive Compendium of Liyue Law. The Lord of Geo is the god of contracts, and contracts, too, can be seen as a way of restraining people. Ergo, Liyue Harbor has been the city of contracts since time immemorial. I heard that little herb gatherer has written out a whole set of behavioral rules for herself. She may be small, but boy, has she got her head screwed on. She's definitely destined for greatness. The young of today shall outperform us tomorrow, as they say. I must admit, she has my respect. The Feiyun Commerce Guild is one of my oldest clients. Their approach to business is meticulous and thorough, and every business meeting I've had with them has always been attended by the head of the house himself. Last time, though, I happened to meet their youngest, Xingqiu. To my complete surprise, the lad had no trouble whatsoever keeping up with my train of thought. He was very eloquent, too, and had excellent manners. Definitely not a simpleton. I always hear people saying that the director of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has an unorthodox approach to business. They think she's gone a little non-compos mentis after being in the funeral business so long. What are these people talking about? The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor provides a legitimate and necessary service, which is the cornerstone of any successful enterprise. Work is just work. There are no good and bad jobs or lucky and unlucky jobs, just jobs that need doing. If I had one gripe, it would be that the director rarely comes to me for legal advice. You must have heard of the Tianquan Ningguang. She's the highest authority where the law is concerned, and often makes amendments to the legal codices. Every round of additions, retractions, and revisions generates mountains of material. Why, the latest edition of the legal codices contained 3 new laws, 121 revised legal annotations, and an array of new legal precedents. Archons know how long it's going to take me to commit them to memory. Still, she's a businesswoman at heart. I'm not about to let her beat me when it comes to the law. Once I finish memorizing these, I need to step up my productivity. The Yuheng doesn't deal with matters of the law, and thank goodness. Knowing Kuching's attitude toward work and ruthless efficiency, I'd end up losing a lot of work. Although, no, surely it wouldn't come to that. She's a stickler for doing things the right way. No doubt she'd offend people. But if she had someone like me as her legal assistant, no way. Why should an eminent legal expert such as myself be relegated to the role of assistant? If she needs legal counsel, she can come and find me. Ganyu is kind and thoughtful. It's just a shame she's so busy all the time. Most of the time, she's buried in an endless pile of paperwork, the only exception being her nap at noon. Don't get me wrong, I have to put in some hours at work too, but I'm happy with the job I've chosen, and it's certainly a lot less taxing than hers. Mr. Zhongli has so much in-depth knowledge on so many topics, he's like a walking library, you know what I mean? He's a total savant, though he never flaunts it. I could tell just by looking at him. People like him rarely shy away from taking on complex problems alone, so in my estimation, he's certainly not a potential client. And yet, somehow, I can't help but think I know him from somewhere. It's hard to describe the feeling. I asked my father about it, and he just said something to the effect of he didn't know either, though he seemed a little evasive. It was so strange. Anyway, makes me wonder if my father is hiding something from me. All right then. If he won't tell me what's going on, I'll just have to find out for myself. Eula saved me once, and we've kept up correspondence ever since. She's very familiar with the Knights of Favonius' legislation, but has never been one to be bound by convention. She uses cunning logic to deal with problems flexibly. Perhaps the reason we get along so easily is that I'm a similar type myself. Still, I'll never acquire that carefree spirit of hers. We are in very different professions after all.
I always have to put on an act around other people, because they see me as only the second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. It's a relief that I can just be myself around you. I think it's because you don't see me in the same way. You ask why I enjoy reading in solitude? Studiousness can hardly be considered a bad habit. There's not much more to it than that, really. There aren't many records on matters concerning visions, but I do have a passage dedicated to the topic in my collection of ancient texts. I can lend it to you if you want.
What's weird about a sister without reverence for the gods? There are hunters who don't eat pork and fishermen who don't eat fish, aren't there? Just because you do something doesn't mean you love to do it. That's how every job goes. This year's dandelion wine is sinfully good. Care for a glass? Mondstadt is a beast of light, both old and young. Old in the sense that it constantly requires someone's protection, yet too young to ever survive on its own. That's why there's people like me. I care for Mondstadt just as the other sisters care for the believers. We are all guiding that which we love onward on the path towards freedom. Huh? Why do I call it a beast of light? Because people like myself can only be found in the dark. Good. Getting stronger means finishing jobs quicker. A vision. Could be proof of strength, or a medal for having survived. Who knows? There are two sides to every coin. I won't limit my vision with ceremonies and definitions. It witnesses me, and I witness it. That's all. You don't always know why good things happen, or why we should be happy about them. But if you ever face a problem too big to handle, don't give up hope. You never know. Someone may be there to help, even if you can't see them. I'm sure Varka means well, but his long-winded conversations get real old real quick. Although he does really care for those around him, doesn't he? Father? I'm not familiar with the word. You could say that I don't have one. Could also say I have many, too. What's it to you? Trouble and lots of it. Although it is sort of a cute kind of trouble. He's like an oil painting you find hanging on the wall in some ancient hall. Profound, mysterious, hard to see through. But what can I say? I find people with stories interesting. Wine has its uses, like revealing someone's true colors, for example. Smooth talk is Kaya's veil, but being me, I can see right through it. You should see him when he's drunk. Barbara is like a thorn in my side, always nagging me about mass and choir practice. I wouldn't be surprised if Sister Victoria specifically asked her to keep an eye on me. Isn't it obvious? There's more than meets the eye to that rich tycoon. He's confident yet discreet, and even a little bit dangerous. Although I deplore those who play truant on a job, I respect her punctuality when it comes to closing up for the day. She's not only competent in her own work, but also somehow manages to clear up various matters for others. Now that's a woman who deserves admiration. There's something extremely interesting about this bard. I can't quite put my finger on it. There's something that makes him different from the others in Mondstadt.
Do you think that Chi-Chi needs to drink blood?
That's not a zombie, Paimon. That's a vampire.
Then, will she transform during a full moon?
Werewolves, Paimon, not zombies.
Huh. As expected of a traveler, you really know a lot. So, what special things can zombies do?
Exercises?
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. So the ones that do exercises are zombies. Got it!
How does a person become as rich, no, as super rich as Lady Ningguang?
Is that the only impression she gives you? Riches?
Well, there's the huge jade chamber too. But isn't that also made of Mora?
Well, you need an excellent mind.
Well, Paimon's really good at giving people nicknames.
You need to be very familiar with the workings of the markets.
A serving of fisherman's toast goes for 1,025 Mora, and no discounts, even on rainy days.
You also need to be willing to work really hard.
Okay, then. So, how do you make friends with a really rich person?
Wait, you're giving up already?
What shall we do? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? A new contract. Okay. I'm still on leave, but I can accompany you for a while. What name should I use on the contract? I have a great many names, though when on leave I tend to go by Zhongli. And you, traveler, what name will you be signing on this contract? Violet grass is a plant that enjoys a moist environment and is best picked after it rains. If you should choose to pick any, be sure to store them appropriately. I hope today, too, shall be prosperous. Want a quick meal to pick us back up? I know a good place in Chihu Rock. We should look for a place to take shelter. I'll be fine, but we don't want you catching a cold. By this time of night, we will have already missed Miss Yoon's play. But Liyue is full of interesting places to explore, even at night. This weather is no good for being on vacation. We should go and take in an opera. The market is closed, and the port has settled. Go get some rest. Why is it that once you finally get a break, rather than taking a rest, you instead come to me? Is it that you want to hear one of my stories? There was once a drink I used to enjoy with friends, long ago. Is it because the climate has changed? A shame I will never be able to relish in its smooth flavor again. I don't like seafood. Just seeing it reminds me of that slimy texture and that scent that just won't wash off. As for why I hate it, it's a long story. So let's just say my memory is a little too good. It seems my strength is returning. Not a lot, but enough. Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while, so it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Trade relies on both contracts and fairness. There is one thing you must never forget when making and abiding by a contract. If fairness is lost, then the contract shall become proof of one's deception. Gold is Liyue's treasure. It is the blood that runs through her heart. As for whether your own heart shines like gold, we will have to wait and see. I enjoy partaking in walks through the city, when time permits. I find it very calming. Yes. Just when did this feeling begin? If you're heading to Jueyun Karst, please bring me back a bunch of Chingsin. Just one bunch is enough. Travel expenses? I almost forgot. During the effective period of our contract, travel expenses are to be paid for by yourself. Sorry to bother you. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Gotta smile for the fans. Gotta smile for the fans.
Solidify! Gather!
Windblade!
Prepare to be blown away! Motion to compel! Boom boom!
Quake!
Motion to compel!
Windblade! Incinerate! Judgment! Motion to compel! Be gone!
Solidify! I will have order!
You can't run! Judgment! Boom boom!
Solidify!
Look up there! That's the Jade Chamber! This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is. Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. There has to be a way up there nearby.
Solidify!
Motion to compel. Punishment. Ha! Ja! Ja! Ha! Ja! Ja! Ha! Ja! Windblade! Ja! Incinerate!
Stabilize!
Motion to compel! Be gone! Incinerate! Judgment! Lights out!
Hey, look! There's some sort of mechanism thingy. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber. Yes, this must be the way.
Windblade!
Takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one go. Huh? Why? Oh, Paimon gets it. If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right? All right, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there. Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista. Paimon has a new idea. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista? Oh, right. This method does seem a bit unsafe. Oh, that's right! Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this? No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millelith ambush here to arrest us. Now Paimon's mad. You, over there. This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless.
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come. Line them up and knock them down.
Wingblade! Motion to compel!
Stabilize!
You can't run! Prepare to be blown away!
Who goes there? Take the target alive! Solidify!
Boom boom! Wingblade! Gone! Incinerate!
Rise!
Judgment! Boom boom! Wingblade!
To arms! Attack! Order guide you.
Shiver! Motion to compel! Boom boom!
Take this!
Incinerate!
Take the target alive! Solidify!
Wingblade! Be gone! Boom boom!
With the triad!
You can't run!
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Kuching, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Guizhong Ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
You want to go to the Jade Chamber? Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Liyue Qixing. Who are you?
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Who?
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
Wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair, and yet it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millelith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never would have thought.
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Huh?
You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them. Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Another super bold statement.
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, Traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor? But... Wait, that's right! Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to respect Liyue's culture.
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and... Well then. May we meet again, Traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person. So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night! Sugar-frosted slime! Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift? With a certain boom shakalaka, of course! Let's go gather ingredients! Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
Solidify!
Motion to compel. Incinerate. Judgment.
Gather!
Windblade!
Solidify!
Motion to compel! Prepare to be blown away!
Gather!
Judgment! Windblade! Incinerate!
Ooh, look at that slime! It looks crystal clear and very delicious. That's the one.
Gather!
Punishment! Windblade! Motion to compel!
Solidify!
Boom!
Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Did you hear that? No! That was definitely someone in trouble. It came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
There's no end to this. Stabilize!
You can't run! Prepare to be blown away! Windblade!
Solidify! Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders, when their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry, I will compensate you both. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing Jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer, of course.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon sugar-frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Stabilize!
jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
Hey there! A guy called Mung Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Mung already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Mung. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history. It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Yep. It's great! Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure, please help yourselves, as long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack. It's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh yes, you might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
Some new items in. Thanks for saving Uncle Mung. Please take care. Well now, time to clean that pot.
This is a peaceful neighborhood. While the Millilith stands guard,
According to Kuching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, Are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with today?
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyun Karst.
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait! Was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings. I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Tevat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era,
The Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions? That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there. You, no doubt, saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvio was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, Traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered. The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
More physically demanding job.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before. you
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first. Naturally.
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching... You'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power. Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that! Let's see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall! look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one, the biggest one.
So, have you made your choice? You don't have to confirm it with me. Just choose one and take it. Afterwards, why not sit down for a while in the Jade Chamber? Or have a short stroll? Rest is also an integral part of any journey. Come now. There's no need to stand on ceremony. Loosen up a little.
Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one. La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Chising spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of Permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue, spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the Sigil of Permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out. Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
So, have you made your choice? You don't have to confirm it with me. Just choose one and take it. Afterwards, why not sit down for a while in the Jade Chamber? Or have a short stroll? Rest is also an integral part of any journey. All right then. I hope the next time we meet, you will either have already done the right thing, or will be about to make the right call.
Sorry, anything business-related is confidential.
Lady Ningguang looks stunning today.
Sorry.